massive man. Get out of my way. Gets it quickly to Nicholas Murphy. And then now there's a break on. And I must say, Paddy Kelly today really impressed me. This is the best I've seen him play for a while. Great running, great support play off the shoulder. And now we're going to see some tremendous pace from Paul Corrigan. This is, and look, you dream about finishes like that. You know, you'd be just wondering, could I spend a whole career and get a goal like that? This is
He didn't have to break stride from that pass, Kevin.
But he's massive pace. We put the tracker on him here. Now, he goes outside and then inside, and that's the line that takes him away. Like Barry Dunyan is no slouch here, but he just can't get at him, outside of the right boot and up to the top.
That's the goal.
Up to the top.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
the super goal. It was the goal that Paul wanted, because all year he's been working so hard, trying hard, maybe trying too hard at times. Now he's a super player. Had a great year with CIT and Cork, winning the Sigerson. So this might free him a little bit to be confident, like we know the kind of player he is.
They had, so many points.
Yeah.
But they were able to score them from all kinds of distances.
Yeah, all kind of distances. But what I liked about a lot of the scores was the support play, off the shoulder, coming off. And now that's Paddy Kelly again. Paddy Kelly, he's played a very good part in it, but Conor has been very loyal to him and showed a bit of confidence in him. And here we see Cork, like Tyrone, go into the corner. Colm O'Neill gets the ball on the left leg and over the bar. Now that's his first start today for Cork from the very start. And this is good strength. Niall McGee is no slouch. He had a good game, but that's pure arrogance. But again, you won't get that kind of space against Tyrone the next day, which is a good score. Here, Paul gives it off, goes confident enough to go on his left leg, and look, it was one of those days where I'd say if he nodded, it would have gone over the bar. It was just a good score.
But when you talk about the space, the Cork won't have that space again. Donegal did have lots of men back, so what is it that Donegal aren't doing that Tyrone are doing, Kevin?
A key part also is one of the opening positions, as far as I can see from the Cork manager, is you got to be able to win your own ball, and that might have cost James Masters his place today. All of the Cork boys are well able to. Colm O'Neill comes in today. He's a big man. He's going to win his own ball. They can all win their own. That's a great place to be. But what did they do different? That's the question you're asking me, Des. The Tyrone defence doesn't just come into the blanket and sit around looking at the sky. They go in and pick up numbers. Okay, it's not an open zone where you just, I'm back in, I've done my job, they're going to see a lot of bodies and that's going to... No, they've got to pick out a number and put pressure on them in terms of heat, hands, shoulders, and then if they're shooting, good blocks, don't foul. That's the sort of in-your-face pressure that Cork are going to get a sample of the next day.
Well, when you talk about winning your own ball, let's salvage something for the poor old Donegal supporters. Michael Murphy is again emerging as the man.
Well, he was fantastic. He's 19, almost 20 years of age, and got 6 points today. Was involved in 2-2 as well. It's such a lovely language style. How he can connect with Cavan so easily, so graciously, simple, and this is terrific. He holds off Shields, who's no small man, powerful man. Lovely touch. Look at the lovely soft hands, Des, and Griffin sticks it in the bottom. Now, you might say they're consolation goals. People can say they're not. You have to win that. There's Cork lads fighting for their pace there. Shields isn't going to cough up a nice handy one just to make Murphy look good. So this is terrific. Look at the way he has the vision. Straight away he sees the Cork fella collapse in on him, and he is the overload. And lovely work again. This is in the air, keeps his eye on it, over the bar. He was tremendous. In a really poor day for Donegal, they have a bit of a future when they have a fella like him going to be lining out for them the next few years.
I thought Niall McGee and Carl Lacey did really well for them too. Carl Lacey has had a super season. And when you think the Cork full forward line today with Donnacha O'Connor and Daniel Goulding didn't really play that well, didn't contribute that much. It's great credit to those two lads.
That makes you feel good, does it?
Well, I suppose there's a bit of potential still there, Des, All
right, who are the nominees for man of the match?
I suppose John Meskela had a super game for Cork. Paul Corrigan, again, played really well. And, of course, Michael Murphy, I suppose he was the pick of the bunch for, and could have been in line for man of the match as well. Yeah,
and another day he would have been for sure. But we went for Paul Corrigan. We felt we had to, because of his overall game. The goal we've talked about, and it was splendid. But he weighed in with some lovely points. And it's his ball-carrying skills and his pace that's going to open up defences in the really, climactic stage of the All-Ireland. Once you have a man that can go by somebody else, you're creating over that, and that's hugely dangerous. And, of course, he's shown us today now that there's a finishing side to him. And he was terrific.
OK, let's hear from the man of the match, Paul Corrigan.
Well, here to present our GAA Football Championship Man of the Match, Paul Corrigan, with his award, is John Middleton, the Branch Development Manager with Ulster Bank. Well done, Paul. Is that a very happy changing room in there?
I'd say just satisfied, to be honest. You know, like, we've had a long layoff since the Limerick game, and we know ourselves our performance wasn't up to scratch, and we just, like, you know, we had a long layoff and we wanted to get the rust in us out, and we're satisfied, I suppose, with the performance. You know, we know there's bigger days ahead, like, so we're going to have to get better if we want to win, to be honest.
Nobody from Cork is saying anything too boastful or anything about it, but when you look at the pace of Cork, the accuracy, it makes you look forward to this Tyrone game now, the semi-final.
It's a cracking stuff. Two provincial finalists went through the front door. Possibly at the start, you definitely say that two of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. Tyrone have been the best team over the last 5 or 6 years. We know what Tyrone will bring. Cork is an unknown quantity. I suppose Cork have had problems in Croke Park up to this, so today will be a certain lifting for them, all right? But Tyrone are totally... Like, if you looked at the first game and the second game, the intensity was totally different. The second game was like a challenge game, and it was fellas kicking points for fun in the end. When you can kick a point under pressure in an All-Ireland semi-final, then you can call yourself a good player. Up to that, you have potential.
But does it not show, Kevin, that they didn't ease up? There's subs coming on, all scoring 27 points. I mean, does that not show the drive and the squad pressure? That was the point
I was making on the Murphy insert. It goes back to be fierce disappointed. Yeah. I think, Tony, for you to say that Cork are an unknown quantity, I'm not so sure I'd agree with you on that, because they've now, you know, flagged their abilities with the performance against both performances against Kerry. The performance today, albeit the opposition